In this episode, we're going to take a look at what G.I. Joe classified figures are on the internet's wish list. So, stick around. Dorks and Dorkettes, and welcome to Nostalgia Syndrome. My name's Rob, and in this episode we will be discussing a massive wish list of G.I. Joe classified figures the internet would love Hasbro to make. Now, how did I come upon this data? Well, it was gifted to me and all of you in the comments section by an awesome viewer of the name of Cornelius McGillicuddy. And I am so hands down impressed that Cornelius did so much cross-referencing and research to get this list. He went above and beyond, and like I said, I'm just impressed, and just, yeah. This topic I thought would be an awesome discussion because there were some real surprises on the list. Now, I'm going to read his comment, but if you want to read it and look at the list itself, I have pinned it to the top of the comment board on the episode that I did about 6 months ago of G.I. Joe classified wish list of the ones I wanted to see made. So go check out that comment section, go check out the video if you haven't seen it, and let's dive in and read his comment, because he explains the process he used so well to get these numbers and this list. So let's take a look at the comment that he left. So Cornelius wrote, "Off top, compiling this list was a motherfucker, and after a month and a half, I finally finished it. What I did was, I went through every most wanted characters to appear in G.I. Joe Classified series, videos on YouTube, and the comments, plus the wish lists that appeared when I did a Google and Facebook search. If a person agreed with the content creator's list, or said, 'Nice list, great list,' etc., I interpreted that to mean they were in agreement with the content creator's list. I excluded characters that are rumored to be coming out, so that's why Stalker, Dusty, Crimson Twins aren't on here." And let me interject real quick, we finally did confirmation that the Crimson Twins and Stalker are coming out, but no word on Dusty yet. So anyway, let's get back to what Cornelius wrote. And we'll be skipping over this paragraph because it contains spoilers to whom is on the list. So yeah, let's keep those a secret and move on to the next part. So, here we go. It needs to be noted that the mentions the Dreadnoks got skews high, while the numbers of the most popular Dreadnoks, Buzzer, Ripper, Torch, etc., are accurate. It's the lesser-known Noks that come into question. The reason why Dreadnoks like Billy Bob, Cletus, Chaos, Joe Bob, and Otis scored so high is when commenters would say things like the Dreadnoks or all of the Dreadnoks. I tallied a vote for every Dreadnok. Makes sense. The same rationale applies to the original 13 Joes. If somebody said OG 13, the original team, Team 82, or something to that effect, I took it to mean the poster meant every Joe in the initial release. I also included version 2 Grand Slam and Grunt with the OG 13. You'll notice that there are 2 separate entries for Clutch, Grand Slam, Steeler, and Wild Bill. The reason for this is because people specifically mention the figure with his vehicle. The notable exception is Serpentor. I'm going to assume that when Serpentor comes out, he'll be with his air chariot, which, that would be awesome. Anyway, also, as I did with the His Tank specific list, I left off characters that only got one mention. However, if enough people really want me to put the one-offs like Candy, Ninja Force, Snake Eyes, and Scarlet, Dr. Lucifer, and the Hot Raj vs. Sarge 2-pack on here, then I'll do it. Anyway, here's a listing of the characters that the community wants to see appear in the Classified series. And he broke it down by Cobra and Joe. And believe me, these lists are so extensive, and this episode is going to be long enough that we're going to cap it at the top 15 of each faction. Now, like I said, if you want to see the complete list, head over to the video, and it is the pinned comment. So it'll be at the very top, and you can look over it yourself. And if this is a topic that you want to have another discussion about, let me know, and we'll pick through the huge list, and believe me, we'll enjoy every second of it. Anyway, on to the list. And before we get started, I just want to say I picked the top 15 from Joe and Cobra. And we'll take a look at both factions. Maybe in this episode, maybe in 2 separate episodes. We'll have to see what the runtime gets to be by the time I finish up the Joes, because I'm starting with them. So, if this does end up being 2 episodes, please check out the second one. If not, please stick around to the end and see who's all on the list. Either way, here we go. Number 15 is Torpedo. And Torpedo got, let's see here, 70 votes to be number 15 on this list. Now, Torpedo, I think he was actually on my list as well. Unfortunately, I can't remember. That was 6 months ago. I can't even remember what I had for dinner tonight. But anyway, Torpedo would be a welcome addition to the G.I. Joe Classified line. The one thing that the original G.I. Joe line excelled in was having specialty troops. I mean, they covered every branch of the military, every, like, sci-fi, advanced science kind of thing you could think of. They covered everything. So, how perfect would it be to have a SEAL member be part of the G.I. Joe Classified line? They could do awesome things with his different accessories. I mean, of course, oxygen tanks, mask, harpoon gun, flippers. It would be awesome to see all these things on a 6-inch scale. Number 14 on the list with 73 votes is Wild Bill. Now, he actually said that there were 2 separate Wild Bills on the list. One with the Dragonfly, one without. I'm assuming this is the one without. Can you imagine a Dragonfly done in the 6-inch scale? That is scary thinking about the size of that. It would be totally awesome, but where would you find the room? Anyway, Wild Bill, again, I think I had him on my list because he's a personal favorite of mine. And that was because I received him in the Dragonfly one Christmas. And I still have such vivid memories of how great that Christmas was. Now, what a great addition to the G.I. Joe Classified figure line he would make. I mean, removable hat, sunglasses, his 6-shooters, and he has a simplicity to him that only appeared very early within the G.I. Joe mythos. Now, that would translate very well within the 6-inch scale, and you wouldn't have to get too crazy with it. So, I would love to see that character in the Classified line. Now, number 13 on the list, I should have included in my list. I don't think I did because I was under the impression that he was already released in the 6-inch scale as a convention exclusive. I may be wrong, that may have just been a custom figure someone was selling at one of the conventions, but that would be quick kick. He appears on the list with 77 votes, and again, simplistic character, and he would have great accessories. Everything from his katana to his nunchucks, even include some shuriken, or have a molded hand holding the shuriken like he's going to throw them. That would be awesome. Include a real cloth like belt or headband. Perfection. Number 12 is a character that I've seen a lot of people in my comments section wish was made, and that is Shockwave. Believe me, you're not alone. 79 other people have put him on the list, and again, it would be an awesome character. Now, with the Classified line, they did great things with different flak vests and armor and, you know, just overlays. So, with him having his, like, bulletproof vest and his hat, which would be removable, it would look great. Give him his Uzi with his silencer, you know, with a foldable stock, his pistol, his backpack. That's all you need, and it would be great. And, I mean, he has a brilliant color scheme, like the urban camouflage, and, I mean, who else would be a perfect foil for the Alley Vipers that came out than Shockwave? I mean, I think he just goes with them perfectly. Number 11 on the list with 85 votes is the most perfect comic relief in the G.I. Joe animated series, and that is Bazooka. Now, as a side note, they did Bazooka dirty in the Retaliation cartoon, but we won't talk about that. But what we will talk about is, again, a very simplistic character that they could probably make pretty cheap because they don't need to attach a bunch of junk to him. The dude, just give him a helmet, his jersey, his fatigues, a collapsible, like, you know, RPG bazooka. That would be cool if it actually telescoped. And like a sidearm, you know, give him a holster or something. There you go. Done. Perfection. Great character. Again, I think simplicity is key, and a lot of people want that, it seems like. These characters aren't that crazy, and Hasbro, you can make them pretty cheap, and we'll buy them. Now, number 10 on the list comes in with 91 votes, or wishes, or however you want to say it. I'll just keep saying votes. But anyway, that is CoverGirl. Again, a character I should have included in my list, but I kinda was trying to stay clear of vehicle drivers. Yes, there were some on the list, but those were ones I had personal attachments to. Now, CoverGirl in the Wolverine was something I always wanted as a kid, and I actually saw it in the wild once when I was younger, but I was not able to get it. I mean, we grew up poor, so things, you know, didn't happen like that. But unfortunately, ever since that day, the Wolverine has been at the top of my vehicle wish list. Now, I have one, beat the heck, missing its missile compartment, so it's just a little flat tracked car thing. Anyway, they could include her leather coat like a top piece, like the flak jackets and armor I was talking about. They could even include two different heads, because we've seen the short hair original version and we've seen a longer haired version in the comic series. The later comics anyway. So include both her heads like they did with Lady J, and yeah, you have a great figure. And I know I'm saying that a lot, but it's true. These would be great figures and welcome additions to the classified line. I mean, I think they would sell like hotcakes. The only problem is Hasbro needs to do a better job of actually getting them out there. Yeah, I'm just not one to pre-order and do all that crap. I like hunting in the wild, and yeah, we see my record is kind of spotty when it comes to that. But anyway, yeah, CoverGirl, great entrant on this list. Number 9! Again, one of my personal favorites, and he would go perfectly with Bazooka, and that is Alpine. 98 people want Alpine, and limitless possibilities with the gear he could come with. He could come with removable goggles, he could come with a removable hat, come with a removable, you know, coat, comes with rope, comes with a pickaxe, comes with an awesome backpack, his grappling gun, give him a pistol as a sidearm, boom, done, perfection, and again, like a cool specialty trooper for the classified line. I mean, that's the one thing, like I said, that the original toy line excelled in, so classified line needs to kick it up a notch and add these cool specialty troops to the ranks. Number 8, another femme fatale, and that is Jinx. Honestly, we need more ninjas in every toy line, so add this awesome ninja to the G.I. Joe classified line. She came in at a whopping 110 wishes. People want her, and yeah, they came close with the Snake Eyes movie classified figures, but it's not the same. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know if this character is inspired by Jinx, a whole nother character. I don't know her story, but she's not a ninja in a red gi and mask with an awesome, like, double-bladed naginata thing. So, we need that. We really do. Again, it's a very easy figure to make. Give her a katana, give her some other ninja gear, but you gotta include that, like, double-bladed, like, naginata thing that looks great. And, I mean, you don't really need to add a bunch of crap to her. Give her an alternate head with her awesome haircut from the G.I. Joe movie, and one that has her red mask. It would be awesome. Number 7. Yeah, we need more animals in the classified line. And what better animal would it be than Junkyard? So Mutt and Junkyard come in at number 7 on this list with 118 wishes. See, I mixed it up there. I was saying I was going to say votes. Now I'm going with wishes. I like the sound of it. Anyway, classic character. I mean, when he hit the shelves, I was beside myself. Again, I never was able to get him until he was included in the Slaughter's Marauders group. But as cool as that was, it's not the same. And it was awesome to have a Junkyard now in my ranks at the time, but I was not down with that paint scheme that the Slaughter Marauder characters had. But when those hit the shelves, I was able to easily find the characters I was missing. So I was happy to finally get him, but having an original one would have been, and I'm still looking. But anyway, again, a character with really neat accessories. I mean, you could give him his vest, his muzzle, a helmet, his billy club, and his, like, MAC-10 with silencer on it. Include a leash for Junkyard. Again, you're done. Great. It would fly off the shelves. I mean, sell it in a 2-pack. I mean, we've seen some awesome 2-packs so far. Snake Eyes with Timber. And forthcoming, Crocmaster with his crocodile. Or alligator. It looks more like an alligator, but we won't get into that. Now, number 6 on the list, for some reason, kind of surprises me, even though I think I may have included him on my list, and that is General Hawk. I mean, when you look at the full roster of Joe characters, General Hawk is pretty bland. Granted, an awesome character, an awesome part of the Joe mythos, but, I mean, the dude just came with a helmet and a pistol, an awesome leather coat, but yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to him other than his position in the mythology of G.I. Joe itself. And if you want to have, like, the full top tier, you know, General Hawk, Duke, Flint, leaders of the group, yeah, he's a welcome addition. And again, maybe there's nothing wrong with the simplistic nature of him. Maybe that, again, could be a good selling point to have Hasbro make him, because they don't need to, you know, mold and create all this crap for him. Now, it would be cool if eventually, in the classified line, we got some cloth goods, and this character that would work with. I mean, make him a leather coat. Give it a little fur trim, it would be, yeah, chef's kiss. So, maybe one day we will get cloth goods within the line, and maybe some hair, but that will be on the Cobra list when we talk about that. Now, number 5 is hands down one of my favorite specialty Joes, and that is Snow Job. He racked up 125 votes, and is it any wonder? Because when he came out, there were no other figures that came jam-packed with accessories like he did. And if they just transferred that over to the classified line, wow, you would have such an awesome amount of gear that any of your Joes could use, because he comes with skis, ski poles, an awesome backpack that held them, and the classic rifle. I mean, that classic rifle, I wish more characters came with it, because that's what we saw in the cartoon, and as awesome as the guns were for the Joe figures, it just felt weird because we weren't seeing it after school in the cartoon. Again, one of my favorite characters because of where it fell into my history. And like I said, he's a specialty Joe that could benefit all the figures in your collection because of the gear he came with. Again, if they did anything like the 25th anniversary lines version of them, they could come with, you know, the hood as a separate thing that would slide on. I thought that was awesome when they did that for the 25th anniversary line, and I think that would be a neat way to do it for the classified line. Number 4 is a favorite for so many Joe collectors and fans, and that is Tunnel Rat. He garnered 133 votes, wishes, and again, this would be a character I would love to see in the classified line. Now, I don't know if his huge backpack and his huge gun would transfer that well into the classified line because of their size, but I'm sure they could do something to, you know, augment them to fit. Now, if they were to make that gun in the classified line, it would be like 6-7 inches itself, and wow, that would be massive and awesome. The backpack would be huge. I mean, it was this big for a 3 3/4 figure. It would be like this big for a 6-inch figure. But the cool addition that it had that I would love to see are the flashlights. Now, the Outback figure coming out, like the Tiger Force version Outback, comes with one of those flashlights, and it looks like it actually clips onto his leg like the original figure. So it would be cool to get a backpack for Tunnel Rat where the 2 flashlights would slide into the back. But one thing that the original figure did not include that this one should is like a knife and a pistol, because that would fit the whole Tunnel Rat thing from Vietnam. So I hope that, knowing how popular this character is, Hasbro will jump on the chance to make it one day soon. Number 3, again, a favorite of mine because it fell within my history, and it's just an awesome character. Hands down awesome. One of the OGs, and that is Rock and Roll. Coming in at 138 wishes, votes, Rock and Roll, again, an awesome addition to the Joe line. We see how great just the green OG G.I. Joe uniform looks on the Clutch figure, which hopefully one day I'll get, and that would transfer great onto Rock and Roll. Give him the helmet, give him like a huge M60, and, you know, have molded, removable bullet bandoliers, and you don't need much else. Of course, he'll probably come with a sidearm or a knife, and that would be perfect, but you don't really need it because Rock and Roll was a kick in the door and take names kind of character. Now, number 2 kind of surprises me. It's one of my favorite characters, so don't get me wrong, but I just can't believe that the community loves this character that much, and that's truly awesome. And that character is Lowlight. Coming in at a whopping 164 wishes, Lowlight, again, would be an awesome addition to the classified line. You could even make 2 different head sculpts, one with a beanie, one without. Removable goggles, awesome sniper rifle that, if it broke down and went into like a backpack, would be breathtakingly awesome. Add different attachments to it, silencer, flash suppressor, scope. Yeah, I mean, give him a little sidearm, the sniper rifle, done. And give him 2 heads, and of course make him blonde. Not a fan of Lowlight with black hair. Sorry, he has to be blonde. That's the character. Anyway, I've said this a dozen, if not more times already, but he would fit perfectly within the classified line, and he's a specialty soldier for Joe that, yeah, they need more of those, like I said. I mean, it was such a refreshing breath to see Barbecue in the line because, I mean, that is a specialized character with a very unique look. So, if they're willing to do him, do Lowlight. Come on, Hasbro. Now, number 1 does not come as any shock. This is a character everybody loves. People have talked smack about him, because of how he dresses, but I mean, if you're a fan of the cartoon, come on, this character, he chewed up all the scenery in the cartoon, made us love him, and made us want his action figure. And that is Shipwreck. With Polly. People specifically said Polly, apparently, and do you blame them? I mean, we've seen the new Spirit figure that's coming out come with Freedom, so Shipwreck needs his Polly. Make him, you know, articulated, that his wings could flap, he can grip onto Shipwreck's shoulder. Yeah, that would be awesome. And we've seen some great Pollys over the years within the 25th anniversary line. But enough about Polly, let's get to Shipwreck himself. Now, you need to include the uniform. I mean, a typical deck swabby type of navy uniform. I don't know the true name, so forgive me. But the hat, the blue shirt, the bell bottoms, you gotta have it. You have to. I mean, when they did other shipwrecks with dark uniform with a, with a beanie on, I mean, that's cool, but you gotta have the classic Shipwreck. Now, he doesn't need to come with his flintlock. I mean, we see kind of how lame that is with the Cobra Commander figure. But give him a normal sidearm. Give him a rifle if you want to. But you gotta include the awesome anchor thing. I mean, I'm sure it has a proper name, and I'm just ignorant to that, so please forgive me. But that anchor on a rope thing that I'm sure he could really school some Cobra soldiers. Yeah, just, that's all you need. And as much as I hate to say it, because of what Target does, he would fit perfectly within the Cobra Island line. I mean, feet on the sand, going after Cobra, Shipwreck, it just makes sense. And 206 other people think it makes complete sense as well. Anyway, I'm sorry if I sped through that, and it kind of worked out the way I thought it would, that this ran extremely long just on the G.I. Joe list. So, stay tuned for later in this week for the Cobra side of things. We'll talk about 15 Cobra figures that people want to see in the G.I. Joe classified line. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please tune in to the second part where we talk about the Cobra side of things. And again, a huge shout out to Cornelius McGillicuddy. Dude, your hard work is inspiring. I wish I had that much gumption and drive to dive into something that extensive. I mean, you searched the entire G.I. Joe community online and came back to us with this awesome list. So thank you, and big props, brother. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. I love reading them, and I love getting back to everybody. And if you enjoyed this episode, or the ones recommended down here by YouTube, and my G.I. Joe wishlist episode from 6 months ago, please hit subscribe. And if you hit that little bell icon, you will be notified whenever a new episode comes out. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. Keep being rad and stay dorky.